I want everybody to think of a song that has inspired change in them, because that'll be the second part of the activity. So think about what that song is. I'm not sure if you can pull lyrics up for the song, but if you know the song, if you can write the song out, if you can just share what the song is about in your group, which will be the second part of the activity, that will be great. If there is lyrics, pull them up. You know, if you have a phone, listen to the song, because I think people think about music is that it's universal. You know what I mean? I listen to music and don't understand what they're saying, but I can feel it sometimes. So music has a great power. It's been used in all revolutions across the world through all ages. So it's a big piece of social organizing. Today, the first...
Really? I did listen. I'm sorry.
Okay, I gotta find somebody I don't know.
When Adrian is.
Hey Joe, this is the song, the other song.
All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get back started. If everybody can come back into the circle, do a quick, we can turn the music down a little bit, but we're going to do a quick reflection just to see kind of how this activity went. How did everybody feel about this? Was this enjoyable? Was this something that allowed us to learn a little bit more about the people in our group and about ourselves? How do you guys feel about this activity?
Reading the lyrics, you actually kind of, like how you guys said, you actually kind of think about like the meaning behind it. And then when we were listening to the song, it was a little bit different of how it meant, I don't know, it interpreted differently when you were reading it rather than listening to it. Because
So we're gonna have you guys do a free write. Does everyone have paper in front of them? Their own piece of paper and their own writing utensils? Andrew's doing it over there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we're gonna have you do a free write. Right now we're gonna take about 10-15 minutes and have you just write as much as you can. Try and write the whole time. You really don't, there's just unlimited things you can say about this topic. So really be creative, and I'll keep prompting you throughout the whole thing. So we're gonna start by just having you imagine you are in an education system where you're most able to learn. What is around you? What do you hear? What do you see? What are you learning? What are you doing with what you learn? So just kind of go along with that question.
Did everyone get some good writing down?
Yeah.
Good. What was that like? I mean, what was it like to write for 10 minutes? Usually we don't do that.
It was okay,
was
because
okay.
there was actually something to write about.
There's something to write about.
There wasn't nothing to write about, to be honest.
Right. I find it peaceful, personally. Isn't it?
I agree.
Similarities between like what you guys are talking about in the body sculpture and what you guys actually was about here. So anybody can go at the order here, but no order here. Just one thing I always request before we do focus groups is that nobody talk over each other and nobody try to tear each other down, anything like that. This is all being a space where we can share and
That's the best part about it. You know what I didn't like about the tests, like the MCAs and stuff like that? They don't offer any other languages, do they? So then like they're telling you like, oh, you can't read or write when you just can't read or write in English because you just, Don't give me this is for you guys to talk. So, what's good that's inside your school?
Okay.
Okay, we're back, guys. We're back.
So if anybody wants to come back to the big circle
give it to
and
Mitch.
close out.
You could give all the notes to Mitch. That would be
Who's next?
Awesome. Good.
Awake.
Games.
Dope.
Jealous.
Curious.
Boss.
Hungry.
Great.
On the edge.
Learning.
Finally, with exclamation points.
Excited. Excited. Ready.
Hopeful.
Eager.
I'm excited. Gotten better. Fantastic.
Motivated.
Good.
Better.
Excited.
Curious. Excited. Excited.
Not sure. Excited.
Yeah. Everybody have a good work tonight. We'll see you guys on Monday. Bring it in. One hand in, one hand in. Wait. Everybody in, everybody in. Bring it in. Bring it in. Bring the other hand in. Everybody ready?
What are the most important issues that we need to organize around?
Like they just put a scoop of crap on my plate, expect me to eat it. Some milk.
Some schools can have it, but like some schools don't. So it's not even for white people or for colored people. It depends on the school that they go for. So
School location / finances. Is that kind of?
Yeah, I kind of get what you're saying, like, kind of like the neighborhood that it's around and stuff.
yeah,
So
I
like,
think the way you dress, they judge too much.
so like judge.
But judge by its cover.
The point I was trying to make with tutoring is that like personal finances also matter a lot.
You're gonna find more relevance in reading about Malcolm X and what he was doing when he was locked up, you know what I mean? But some students are uncomfortable teaching about that, you know what I mean? And because it's not relevant to the teacher, but it is relevant to the student. And even though the Common Core standards, the people who built them standards probably weren't comfortable. So there's racism and discrimination built in right from the very beginning, you know what I mean? So it's, you know, what I'm interested is, what do you guys think we could do, like, honestly, like, at yourselves as youth, you know, what do you guys feel that could be done to change any of this?
I think if they really do care about like colored students or minorities to have like a better education, then they should really just listen to us and try to like work things out, like try to fit in what we want to learn and how we should learn it into the curriculum.
But you know, they got bias. You know what I'm saying? So when they look at Native American, Asian, Black, whatever they're looking at the stereotypes that they've been given. Not as a full country people, you know what I mean? They're not looking at the doctors and lawyers in the community, the people that are doing all the positive stuff. They're looking at only the negatives that are coming out of all those communities. And then in school, it just kind of comes out. So when I saw that question, and I said, man, what is it that, why they target Black students? I don't see Black as just an African American. I see anybody that's, not white is getting targeted for suspension rates, for anything else. And a lot of what you're saying is, it's just a communication thing.
You're talking to them while they're in your stomach. You're learning, right?
Yeah, you can. I mean, if your brains are your brain cells are stimulated, and people talk to you and play certain music, and if you hear things when you're in your stomach, yeah.
It's a question like this,
I feel like,
stats about stuff.
yeah, the other part of it has to do with genes and genetics. But I also feel like they work hard. Like I said, they study hard. They put in the work for it, and yeah, they are dedicated. They don't be messing around. They don't.
But this is just a time for you to go through and read and see what everybody wrote from the sessions that were hosted. And then again, just to remember, when we go into session 2, you do have the freedom to move around to different conversations. You know, make sure that you're getting your perspective is being shared across the room. So don't think that if you're just sitting there and you're not taking anything away from that topic at that table, get up and move to another table.
So this group was, why aren't people of color getting the same support as white people, like cultural favoritism? And so we had a lot of ideas and comments, but mostly we think that it's like a cycle that goes around, and because of like parents and then incomes and the support with favorite teachers and favorite students. And we had a lot of people kind of.
Our topic was school lunch, and basically what we talked about was like having a longer lunch and like having better food, more varieties, fresh food, and like a bigger portion size. And we talked about like what we could do to make school lunch better. Yeah.
Hi, my name's Fong. The topic here was school voting. What I asked, or what we mostly talked was what kind of signs did you can see if there's a sign of voting. And we talked, and there was a lot of different choices as verb, emotional, physical, even through cyber. So it was very interesting. And then we had a lot of experience throughout people that are being bullied, and they share their experience of how they feel pain, pissed off, all this anger, as those that have been are bullied, they feel powerful and stuff, and etc. And then we also talk about how we can prevent it more. I guess what we did was, what we thought would be best was, to keep the eyes out and just step up, talk about it as a group, just don't let nobody down. And also for staff, you want, I guess, for me and everyone, if I want staff to be more aware out there, just to keep their eye out and to look out during the hallway, during any events going on. So, I guess that's basically it.
I'm Carlos. Table that I was working on self-sufficient schools and how we can make that possible. I want to thank Dario for drawing this layout, which is where I'm going to focus on for my small lecture, which is sweet. So we have a school, we have a garden, we have a solar panel with possibly addition of a wind turbine. It'll depend on where we're located, where the school's located. So a good way for a school to be self-sufficient is having a way of having its organic fruits coming in from not spending too much money on getting them imported from a different company or anything else, or wasting money on students who are not going to eat the vegetables and just let them go to waste when it could be used in some other school or place where they really need it, right? So if you have a garden, you can control how many, you have the control of how much you want to put out on the table depending on how much fruit you have and produce. So that will eliminate that. We have solar panels. Solar panels is a great way to use the sun as electricity, and it's free. It's everywhere. We have so much of it.
We have a tie. And self-sufficient schools. So actually, the top 4 will be, why aren't people of color getting some support? Native American history being taught and being taught well, school bullying, and self-sufficient schools.
It does matter. We're a team.
All right, I like that.
All right.